I'm on a 100-day journey to learn how to animate. So far, I've improved my drawing skills. Sorta. But anyway, today is now day 15 of my animation journey, and I now need to learn the principles of animation. Developed and followed by Disney animators since the 1930s, the principles of animation serve as the fundamentals of animation. There are 12 principles of animation, and today we'll be going over half of them. The first principle I'll be going over is timing. Just a heads up, the principles of animation will be out of order than how you'll normally see them. Anyway, timing refers to the speed of the action being performed. When making animation, the subjects need to follow the laws of physics for it to make sense. Obviously, things don't move at the same speed, so when animating, we need to make sure that the action being performed moves at an appropriate speed. But how do we do that? It's simple. When animating faster moving objects, there should be a larger gap in between each frame, but when animating slower moving objects, there should be a smaller gap in between each frame. I want to make a practice animation for each principle. For timing, I'm doing an animation exercise called the magic dot. For this animation, I have a simple dot, but I need to make it move around to make it appealing. I could have the dot move around the screen quickly or slowly, or I could have it scale up or down. And that's what I did in this animation. However, there was something wrong with it. Just take a look at the beginning. Pretty drawing, right? It just suddenly moves at different speeds, making it hard to watch. But what will make this animation smoother then? That's where the next animation principle comes in. Ease in and ease out refers to objects taking time to accelerate or slow down in animation. In real life, things need time to speed up or slow down, so it should be the same in animation too. Knowing this now, I can fix my magic dot animation so it flows a lot better. Just look at it now, it looks a whole lot better. I also made a second magic dot animation, but this time with two dots dancing around each other. But wait, what's that? Why did it suddenly break shape? This is the next principle of animation. Squash and stretch is an integral part of bringing life to animation. It involves changing the shape of a moving subject to convey weight, speed, and impact. Without squash or stretch, animation will be a lot more stiff and lifeless. To practice squash and stretch, I decided to make the infamous bouncing ball animation. No animator goes without making one of these, so of course I'm gonna make one. When squashing and stretching, the object should retain the same volume. With this in mind, I made my bouncing ball animation. Here's how it turned out. Now I want to expand on this animation and make the ball bounce across the screen. For that, we need the next principle of animation. Arcs are the paths of travel a moving object has in animation. Most things in real life travel in arcs rather than just a straight line, so to maintain realism, animators must animate in arcs. I'm going to make the ball bounce from left to right, so I need to make sure the ball travels in arcs as it moves. I also need to make sure the ball eventually slows down as it loses momentum. So, to start this animation, I drew the path of travel the ball would take to help me visualize these arcs. Then, I began animating the ball on a separate layer, making sure the ball bounced into arcs, while also keeping the other principles in mind. This is how the animation turned out. However, there wasn't really a warning for what action was about to take place. The next principle of animation helps with this problem. Anticipation allows the viewer to prepare for what movement will occur next. It usually involves a smaller action or movement preceding the main one. Jumping is a great example of this. People don't just jump up like this in real life. They bend their legs down before jumping and then jump up. To practice this principle of animation, I'm going to expand on the bouncing ball again. This time, the ball is going to squish down and then bounce up as if it were jumping on its own. So that's what I did in this animation. I liked how this turned out. However, I can make it even better with the next principle of animation. Exaggeration makes animation a lot more comical and appealing. Although animation should remain realistic, exaggerating certain actions or expressions can make the animation much more appealing than without it. It's pretty much one of the most prevalent principles out there. To make my animation better, I want to exaggerate the ball to give it more life. So, after the ball squishes down and bounces up, it will hit the ceiling, fall back down like paper, and then get mad. Everything was pretty simple for this animation, except for exaggerating the ball to convey anger. I mean, how do you even convey anger through an expressionless ball? But I figured something out, and this is a final animation. Because of the exaggeration, the animation was a lot more fun to watch. But yeah, this is part of my journey in understanding the principles of animation. Hopefully this video didn't take too long to come out. If you like hearing my app sessions, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, thank you all for 100 subscribers. It means a lot to me for giving a small channel like me a chance. Other than that, I'll see you next time.